Hey everybody and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I wanted to do another favourites video, this time looking at the month of February this year to let you know what I've been up to and the things I've been enjoying and watching and things like that. Just like I did for January, because like I said then, I want to do a video every single month. So yeah, although it's been kind of a miserable month weather-wise and we finished with quite a bit of snow, I've still been getting up to a fair amount. So yeah, let's crack on with it and I'll show you what I've been up to. So we'll start with some social media stuff. The big thing throughout the month of February, and particularly at the end, was Rare Disease Day. Rare Disease Day happened on the 28th of February and basically highlights the fact that 1 in 17 people has a rare disease of some sort. So it's actually more common than you might think. If you know a lot of people, then chances are, 1 or 2 of them at least will have a rare condition of some sort. There's over 6,000 rare diseases out there. There's millions and millions of people, hundreds of millions of people around the world affected by rare conditions of some sort. I have Aniridia and nystagmus. That's just 2, but there's loads and loads of others. So they had an Instagram challenge running throughout the month where you had to post a different photo each day on a particular theme. It was quite a variety, so I thought I'd give it a go. I managed to find something for every single day, and it was quite fun being able to create a mixture of posts from my childhood as well as from my current days in London. So I was able to get a nice variety there. So I enjoyed it, and quite a few people kind of liked the posts and things. And then in the end, I actually won, which quite surprised me, because so many people were entering. There were so many great pictures out there. So I was very surprised and very flattered to have won the challenge this year. So I made a blog post of all the pictures I posted and all the captions, so you can check that out on my blog. I'll put the link in the description below, and you can go on my Instagram as well, of course. I've got the same name there as everywhere else, Well I Never. So that was good fun. I enjoyed doing that. And then I've also had a couple of guest posts published this month again as well, which is great. The RNIB have featured me again. I did 10 questions about Aniridia for their NB Online magazine, which is a magazine for professionals who work with like sight loss and eye health. So it's aimed at the professional sector, but anyone can read it. Again, I'll put a link to that in the description and in the blog post that goes with this. So that was good, just to give a little summary of Aniridia, what that's about. And then I also published an article on the UCAN website, which I'd never heard of before they got in contact with me, but it's a great site. It basically just features people with all sorts of disabilities, showing all sorts of personal experiences and stories about their lives and giving tips and advice and things. So yeah, it was great to be featured on there. So yeah, I've done quite well on the on social side of things, and I've had new subscribers on my various platforms, on the blog, here on YouTube and on Twitter and Instagram, etc. So hello to all my new subscribers, welcome aboard as usual, it's great to have you. And also, talking of Rare Disease Day on the 28th, the Nystagmus Network actually took that day to announce their own Nystagmus Awareness Day coming up later in the year. They used to hold it in November, called Wobbly Wednesday. They're now holding it on the 20th of June instead, so they can have it in the summer when it's nicer and things like that. So that's going to be like Wobbly Wednesday again, at least for this year. But each year, 20th of June will obviously fall on a different day, but they'll have a wobbly week, as it were, as opposed to just a Wobbly Wednesday. So Wobbly Wednesday will still fall within that week, but it won't be on the 20th, if that makes sense. But yeah, the Nystagmus Awareness Day is now going to be on the 20th of June rather than in November when it used to be before. And I'm talking about networks like that. The Aniridia network is having their annual conference in April as well, so that's coming up soon. So go and book on that if you have any connection with Aniridia. That'll be a really good conference due to attend. I'll be there. They're going to have various speakers there, and there's going to be a social evening with Gold Ball afterwards. So yeah, if you have any interest or connection with Aniridia, then book onto that. That'd be great. So that's the social media side of things. So now let's talk about going out and about. Because I've been doing a few bits and pieces as usual, as I like to do. The weather's not been great, so a lot of the stuff I've been doing has been indoors. But there's also been the opportunity to go out and about for a bit of a walk as well. Now the weather is slowly kind of improving. So I'll start with the indoor stuff first though, and I did get to go to the theatre again this month. It wasn't expected, it wasn't originally planned, but I was very kindly offered a complimentary ticket to go to the Young Vic Theatre, which I'd never heard of before, I must admit, although I do have a deluxe edition of an album by The Who that actually has a concert they did at the Young Vic on there. It just didn't register when I heard the name of the theatre when they contacted me. But yeah, the Young Vic is a theatre that puts on a wide variety of different productions, and they offered me a complimentary ticket to go and see a play called Winter, which is like a drama, a two-hander. It's written by a Norwegian playwright, and yeah, it's really, really good. I didn't think it would be for me necessarily, because the description perhaps makes it sound a bit strange, and I think if you look around, you get the impression that some people find this playwright's plays a bit perhaps boring sometimes, a bit slow moving, but actually it was really well worth a go. It was really interesting. It was about basically two people who have this chance meeting in a park. They're completely different people, like very, very different people. It's just really interesting to see kind of how they kind of form a connection, as it were. I wouldn't say relationship, but a connection, and the way that leads. And it's all about kind of communication, or the lack of. It's as much about what they're not saying to each other as what they are saying. So there's a few mixed messages there, a few misunderstood meanings between them perhaps. And yeah, it's really interesting. The reason the Young Vic invited me and a few other bloggers, a few other visually impaired bloggers from the London area, was because although they do provide audio description and touch tours for shows, they tend to only do it for like 1 or 2 performances in the run. Like many theatres do, it's quite common for theatres to do like audio description, and a touch tour for just 1 or 2 shows in the run. There are 1 or 2 exceptions, like Matilda does it for like 4 shows a year, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child does it for a few shows a year. But generally speaking, most theatres tend to do it for like once a year or once in a show's run. Vocalise, obviously, is the big charity that does a lot of them here in London. But some theatres do it in-house as well. So the Young Vic have normally kind of done that. But this time, they wanted to extend their accessibility and give audio description for every single performance in the run of this play. So it's about, like, I think, 10 days. So 10 evening performances and like 2 matinees. So that was really great. And they also did touch tours for 6 of those performances as well. So yeah, I went along and it was great. The touch tour was brilliant. It was really great to get up on the stage and experience like the different elements of the stage. And I saw the costumes as well, which was really great. And I got to talk to the actors, which was brilliant. One of whom is visually impaired herself and her character is blind. So, that was great. And the director also is a wheelchair user. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of disability representation, in that production, which is brilliant. So I've written a full review about it on my blog, but, yeah, it was really good. And if you've not heard of the Young Vic Theatre before, then check out what's on there. They do a wide variety of plays, and I'll be checking them out, to see what else grabs my eye in future. So yeah, I'll be very happy to go back there. And then I've also been to museums as well, as per usual, because I like to go to them regularly. The big one for me this month was the Museum of London. As a kid, I went at some point. I think my mum seems to remember us going, but I don't remember it. I think we saw the Lord Mayor's gold coach or something there when I was a kid. I actually spent 2 afternoons there in the end, kind of looking around the whole place, kind of wandering through it all. The first day I went there was actually to help a lovely young lady called Rafi Cecilia with a study she's doing for her PhD at the University College London into the assistive technology that blind and partially sighted people use at museums. I started this with her last year, actually. We went to the Victoria and Albert Museum, and then we went to the Museum of London this time, and we're going to another museum soon as well. So there's 3 museums she's kind of doing a study in. And basically what she did was she attached a GoPro camera to me, strapped it to me so she could see where I was going and what I was looking at. And also followed me around discreetly and kind of made notes and just let me explore at my leisure, doing whatever I wanted to do, just to see how I use technology. And then she does an interview afterwards as well, to get my thoughts on my experience and everything. So that's been really good. It's been great to meet her and very interesting to find out about what she's doing. And it's great to be able to help out with a study of that nature, and that will hopefully feed back to museums, so they can develop their assistive technology, their accessibility, to help people. So yeah, we did the Victoria and Albert Museum last year, and I used the audio guide on their website to explore the Europe exhibition and large print guides. At the Museum of London, I was going to use the large print guides that their website says they had, but the receptionists couldn't find them. They didn't have any available, unfortunately, which was a great shame because it would have been very useful. So they need to try and make them more readily available, really. But I still looked around the museum anyway. I still was able to use my binocular, my little telescope, to read things if need be, and to see things in detail. So although I couldn't quite see everything, I got to see most of it. I got the gist of everything I was looking at, and I enjoyed reading about a lot of the stuff and seeing a lot of things. They had the Fatberg there at the very start that was found recently in one of the sewers, blocking it all up. So they had little segments of that, and talking about how it was kind of extracted and broken down and things, and how it was formed in the first place. It should get people thinking about the stuff they flush down the toilets and things. It's amazing what gets chucked down there, really. It's crazy. But yeah, then after that you basically get a chronological journey through London from its earliest days, its earliest settlements, right through all the different eras, right up to the present day and looking into the future. So it's really, really interesting, and I spent like the first day looking through most of the top floor, and then I went back the next day and ended up doing the rest of that top floor and working my way through the bottom floor as well. So yeah, I didn't read every single thing and I couldn't see every single thing in the cases. Sometimes it's actually easier to take a picture on my phone and look at it like afterwards because it picked up the lighting better in some of the darker cases. But yeah, I did enjoy everything I did see. There was a lot of interesting stuff there. I heard a couple of talks given by the staff there as well. That was really great. So yeah, it's a great museum and they are actually moving premises in the next few years or so. They're going to build in accessibility from scratch, hopefully. I think that's the plan. So it's going to be really interesting to keep an eye on that because I think they're really keen to improve like their accessibility offering, to the disabled, which is wonderful. So we'll see how that develops. That'll be really interesting to keep an eye on. I also went to the Imperial War Museum with South East London Vision. We had a guided tour in the museum from the lovely members of staff there. It was really, really interesting. We got to get our hands on a tank. We spent a good deal of time looking at a tank in their kind of main hall area. And we got to hold some objects as well, like, real things from, wartime, like shells, and there was a car headlight cover and things like that. It was really, really good to kind of get hands-on and to see things close up like that. And we had a little look around the First World War gallery as well. I need to go back to the museum and have a proper look around there. There's so much to see there, but it was great to kind of get a flavour for what's there and, like I say, get hands-on with some of the stuff. So that was really, really interesting. The next day we did have a great deal of snow and I had to miss the East London Vision trip to the ABBA exhibition at the South Bank Centre, which I really want to see. There's another group actually going there soon, so I'll see if I can go with them later instead. But yeah, I couldn't go because I basically just didn't have like the gear to get there safely. I'm not used to kind of this extreme kind of level of wintry weather because I just didn't need to kind of be able to cope with it from where I live down the West Country. Although this year they also got it really bad as well, which is very unusual for them. It's very, very rare that they get snow at all, or if they do get any it doesn't settle, but they really got it bad this year. So it was quite unprecedented the amount of snow we had. I know relative to other countries that get it all the time, this is nothing, but to us it was very unusual circumstances. It's lovely to look at. I mean, snow's wonderful, it's beautiful, and I'm very glad I'm a home worker so I can just admire it from indoors in the warm. But yeah, I mean, even my employer had to shut their buildings and send staff home, so even though I'm a home worker, I still got the day off anyway because there was no one for me to work for. So I got a day and a half off because of that. So that was good. And I also went on a social outing with South East London Vision as well. I went to a pub called the Doggett's Coat and Badge where we all met up one evening for a meal. The pub is the opposite end of Blackfriars Bridge from the tube station. It's a really nice pub, really nice food in there. So yeah, I went there with them. We had a lovely evening. And then I met a friend from that group. We kind of went there ourselves a couple of weeks later as well. Just for a chat and to get to know each other because we'd got on well in the events we've been going to. So it was great to meet him. And then I'm going back to the pub again with a few more friends who are visiting London soon. So yeah, that's becoming quite a popular little pub for me at the moment. But it's lovely in there. It's a really nice place. And it is right by the river. If you're lucky enough to get a window seat in the restaurant, you've got a lovely view there. So yeah, Doggett's Coat and Badge is a pub I can recommend. And if you sign up to become a member of the Nicholson's kind of pub chain on the website, you can get a 25% off voucher for your next visit, which can be used for up to 6 people. And apparently you get a treat on your birthday as well. No idea what that is, but I'll find out when that comes because I signed up to the list to get the 25% voucher for the friends that I'm taking. So yeah, that's going to be really good. Really nice pub. And then with another social group, a non-disabled social group, I actually went to another museum as well. I went to Apsley House, which is the house that the first Duke of Wellington lived in. It's by Hyde Park Corner. And I went with Thinking Bob to that. One of their hosts was there to give us like a guided tour of the place. It's just got some really lovely artworks in there and things. So yeah, that was really interesting to have a walk round. But as I said, I've also been out and about for walks as well, just on my own, just to to get a little walk about, get a bit of fresh air, or as fresh as London air can get. So I ended up going to Hampstead Heath, which obviously I was well aware of, I'd heard of, but I'd never been to before. So I went up there and had a little walk around there. And there's a little park nearby called Waterloo Park as well. So I went through that first and then on to Hampstead Heath. I found Parliament Hill where you can look out over the city. You can see the city skyline. So you can see things like the BT Tower and the Shard quite easily. It's perhaps not quite as good a view as you get at Alexandra Palace where I went last year. That's a cracking view up there. But it's still a lovely view nevertheless. And like I say, Hampstead Heath is a really nice place to walk through. So that was great. And then another thing I did during the month was to go out and find some more talking statues. I'd found some last year. I wanted to find more this year. And basically what it is that for various statues across London, a plaque's been attached to them. And if you scan the QR code on that plaque, or in some cases use a chip reader on your phone, or just type in the short web address that's provided, you can hear audio of the statue talking to you, whether it be the person in the statue or the animal in the statue, or for a more abstract statue, just the statue itself talking to you, basically voiced by a celebrity, sort of telling you all about the person or the animal or the statue you're looking at. And yeah, it's just really, really interesting, really, really fun. And there's some big celebrity names doing it. I think the most famous one that I found on this trip was Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones. She voices one of the statues. That's really, really fun. So it's really interesting. There's a map on the website of where all the statues are. Not all of them seem to have plaques now, which is a shame, but the vast majority do. And it's quite interesting to go around and find them all because it often takes you to bits of London that I would never have gone to before. Certainly, I'd never had no reason to, or I just didn't have any knowledge that the places existed. So I managed to discover a few kind of hidden corners of London that I hadn't been aware of. So it's really, really good, and I recommend kind of checking it out if you want to go out and find those kind of things. And then I also did an audio tour as well using an app on my phone. There's an app called Cities Talking, which I used a couple of times last year to do some audio tours with, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to do another one, and this was a good chance to do it. It's based on the theme like scandals, that kind of thing. And it starts off in Trafalgar Square, takes you down the Strand and through Fleet Street, and finishes at St Paul's Cathedral. So it's quite a straight walk in that sense. And basically you can have the phone in your pocket, and as it knows where you're walking, it will trigger the right bit of audio at each relevant location. You can stop and listen to it, and it's really, really interesting. It's narrated by Christopher Biggins as well. If you're not in the UK, perhaps you might not know who he is, but if you're in the UK, chances are you know who Christopher Biggins is. He's a big kind of actor, and he's been on TV quite a bit as well. So yeah, he's really good at he's really good at narrating it. He did one or two of the tours I listened to last year as well. So yeah, it was really, really interesting. I really enjoyed that. You can do it like all in one go, like a 3-hour walk. I split it over 2 days, partly because I was stopping to take photos all the time, as I like to do, and partly because it was a very cold weekend, so I didn't want to stay out too long at once. So I split it over 2 days, over a weekend, which was great. So yeah, that was really, really interesting, really enjoyed that. There's 1 or 2 other tours on that app I want to do, but there's also other apps I want to check out as well that do audio tours. And there are also obviously like tours led by people as well that I've also been on in the past year. I've got a few of those I want to do as well. So, there's a nice variety. I either go with a group of people with a person leading us, or I can do a tour on my own using my phone. Lots of options. So that's all the stuff I did when I was out and about. Then I've also been enjoying kind of watching and listening to stuff at home as well, as usual. I've seen one film this month. It's another one that was recommended to me by Emily from Fashionista. Basically, I've built up a list of stuff that she suggested to me, and I'm gradually working my way through it. So I thought I'd tick another one off. I saw Finding Nemo and Finding Dory before. This time I watched Madagascar, which I'd never seen before. I know, I'm way behind the curve again, but thought I'd give it a go, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. So, there's a lot of good humour in there and everything, and the animation's really good, and the characters are great. So, yeah, Madagascar was really fun. I saw that on Netflix, so that was quite handy. And then, funnily enough, shortly after watching that, BBC One put Madagascar 2 on. So I've recorded that, and I'm going to watch that, as I may as well now I've got it. So yeah, I'll watch that soon. That should be good. And I've been watching various things on TV as well. I mean, QI's finished now, its latest series. The O series is finished now. That was really good. The P series is being filmed already, I think. So that's going to be broadcast like in the autumn of this year. So that'll be something to look forward to. The Last Leg is still going, of course. That's come back for a new series fairly recently. So that's great. Room 101 is still going. I really like that too. That's really funny. The Big Bang Theory has come back after its Christmas break, which is fantastic because I always miss that when it's not on. So it's great to see the Big Bang Theory back. And this time they've also brought in a spin-off as well of Young Sheldon. So it's about the Sheldon in his youth growing up. And that's actually quite good, to give it its dues. I've only seen like a couple of episodes so far. But yeah, it's interesting. It's quite funny in a lot of places, and the kid playing Sheldon is very true to the character we know in The Big Bang Theory. He's very good, and you actually have the adult Sheldon narrating a little bit here and there as well. So you kind of have that link back to the main Big Bang Theory show. So it just makes it feel connected. There's no laugh track with it, which I think helps to separate it again from the main show. And it's still funny without it. You don't need the laugh track to enjoy the show. It works for The Big Bang Theory, but you don't need it for Young Sheldon. So, yeah, it's been interesting to see that. I've been enjoying that. The Flash has also returned after its Christmas break. That's like the action superhero drama. That's really, really good. That's always really fun. And He's come back with like, a big dilemma for Barry Allen at the moment that he's in. I'm not going to spoil anything in case anyone's not seen it yet, but that's looking really interesting for the second half of the season, so it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. And then we've also got a new series of Dara O'Brien's Go 8-Bit. That's come back. That's really, really fun. That's on Dave, and it's a comedy show basically where celebrities come in and play video games, sort of competing against each other. So you get to see old games and new games being played. So if you like the retro games, they're on there. If you like the more modern games, they're on there too. It's really, really fun. It's just really good, light-hearted fun, just like you're playing, at home with your mates, really. It's that kind of feel. So, yeah, that's really fun. And Ant and Dec Saturday Night Takeaway has come back on ITV as well. Again, that's just very silly but fun Saturday night entertainment. It kind of reminds me a bit of like the Noel's House Party kind of era. Not as good as that. Obviously, Noel's House Party was classic when I was a kid. But it's still fun. Ant and Dec are still very good and they're still enjoying themselves. So it's a really fun show. Great to see that back. As for DVDs and Blu-Rays, I recently bought the 4th series of Still Open All Hours that was very recently broadcast in the new year on BBC One. So I've got that in my collection. But I haven't bought any others lately. But I have watched Red Dwarf Series 12 that I bought on Blu-ray towards the end of last year. I saw that on Dave when it was broadcast. It was great to rewatch it on Blu-ray. It's been a very funny series. I think they're on form at the moment. And there's lots of great extra features on there as well, lots of behind-the-scenes footage, and you've got deleted scenes and smeg-ups as well. So they've done well with their extra features as per usual. They always put a good amount on there. And Red Dwarf is 30 years old this year, so happy birthday, Red Dwarf. It's strange to think that it's 30 years since the very first episode was broadcast, but yeah, it is that old. So it's great to see it still going strong, and hopefully they've got more series they want to do. We'll soon see. And I've also watched my DVD set of season 17 of Family Guy, which is really funny as per usual. It's just silly, puerile humour, I know, but I like that sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not as good as in its heyday, but it's still fun, it's still good, it's still enjoyable. You don't get much in the way of extra features on there. You get some deleted scenes, which are interesting. And there's tributes to Carrie Fisher and Adam West on there as well, which was a nice touch. You don't get any extras other than that, but you don't really need them. If you like Family Guy, then that's what you buy the DVDs for. You buy it for the episodes, don't you? So, yeah, I'm glad I watched that. And then finally, in terms of audio, I've listened to one audio book this month, and that is Radio Boy by Christian O'Connell. Christian O'Connell is the presenter of the Absolute Radio Breakfast Show, and I listen to the podcast of that every day. It's really, really fun. There's a great team there. And there's always a lot of good banter on there, a lot of good humour. Christian is sadly leaving the show very, very soon, which is a great shame because he's a great presenter. Fair play to him for taking up the opportunity to present the show in Australia. He's never going to get a chance like that again, so why not take it up? So it'll be interesting to see who takes over that. But I digress. Radio Boy, there's 2 books in that series already now. And yeah, it's basically about a boy called Spike who sets up a radio show in his shed under the identity Radio Boy. And yeah, it's really fun. It's written from Spike's perspective. And yeah, it's just a really great book. Lots of great humour in it, lots of comedy in there. I don't want to obviously spoil anything, but yeah, it's really, really fun. Yes, it is kind of aimed at kids, but it's great for adults as well. It's really well written. It's Christian's really good, and obviously having worked in radio, he's got that experience he can build on. How he got involved in radio and stuff like that. So obviously he knows what he's talking about when it comes to all the radio side of things. And yeah, his humour's there as well. He's a stand-up comedian in real life sometimes as well. So his humour comes across, his knowledge of radio comes across, and it just makes a really good book. So yeah, I've listened to the first book. I've started on the second book as well now. So yeah, Radio Boy, I recommend checking that out. And in terms of music, I've bought an album this month as well. You may remember, if you watched my DVD haul from 2017, there was a Blu-ray of a Def Leppard concert in there as well. And I realised when I was looking it up that it's actually related to a new album they released at the time called just Def Leppard. It was released in 2015. I hadn't been aware of that for whatever reason. But yeah, Def Leppard released an album just called Def Leppard because they felt it was like a pure Def Leppard sound. And so I finally bought that album and gave it a listen. It's really good. I wouldn't call it a classic, perhaps like Hysteria, which I did like an unboxing video for because they released a special edition box set of that last year. But it's still great. It's still got, that classic Def Leppard sound to it, and the songs on there are really good. So yeah, the Def Leppard album by Def Leppard is really, really good. Well worth checking out. If you like Def Leppard, then yeah, get it. It is a good album. And yeah, that's it really. Those are all the main things that I can think of to mention. I hope you enjoyed listening to that. March is going to be a very interesting month. I've got some very interesting things planned for March already. Possibly one or two other things will crop up as per usual. But yeah, what's already in the diary is very varied and interesting. So I'm going to have some very interesting things to talk about soon. So yeah, that's it. That's my February favourites video done. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting. Feel free to leave a comment as to what you thought about any of the stuff, or feel free to recommend things for me to check out, be it in London when I'm out and about, or theatre shows, or things to watch on the TV, films, audiobooks, music, whatever you think I should check out that you want to recommend, by all means let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you for another video very, very soon. Bye.